All right. Good evening, everyone, and apologies for starting late. All right. So quickly, I'll introduce myself, tell you about the company, and share a few slides with you. Then finally, I call on the facilitator that will take you on the journey to shed more light into the into the life of a database administrator. And finally, we open the line for any question and answer that you may have. Then we wrap it up for the day. All right. So, and one other thing, please, you have to bear with me. I've got cold. So, but I'm going to manage, but just bear with me as we go. All right. So, my name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. Learn with Pride is an IT training organization based in the UK, but we have students all around the world. The sole purpose of our existence is to help people, that wants to transition either from non-IT background or non-technical background into the IT space. So we run different IT trainings, ranging from project management to Scrum Master, database administrator, data analysis, software testing, DevOps engineer, just to name a few. And why we are different is because we focus on what really matters, what you really need to know before you start applying for jobs. So what I'm trying to say in essence is when you go through our process, by the time you are done, you'll be job ready. You'll be ready to start competing with people who have been doing it for the last 2, 3 years in the market. That is the standard we are going to build you. Right. So that is it about us. The company has been in existence for the last 5 years, right? And over that 5 years, over 20,000 students has passed through this platform that we've helped to transition, right? So that is it about the company. As I said earlier on, we are based in the UK, but we have students across the world, all over the world, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, just to name a few as well. All right, about myself, as I said earlier on, my name is Akin Oladeji. My background was in accounting. I transitioned as well. My background was in accounting. I transitioned to become a software automation engineer. So that is me going from a non-technical background, a non-IT background, into a very technical space. And I did a 3 month masterclass back then as well, and I was able to transition. But remember, I said I came from a non-IT background. So when I was tired of what I was doing. I needed a change badly. And the first course or training I stumbled upon was software automation. And I asked a question: can someone with no background, with no IT knowledge, embark on this journey? Not only embark on the journey, but at the end of the day, you are able to secure a role at the end of the day. 1 second, please. At the end of the day, you are able to secure your role. And the guy answered, if you are determined enough, why not? Nothing is impossible. With that mindset, I started the process. But while starting, I told myself that, you know what, in my set or in my cohort, I want to be one of the best. Not because I know it, but because I want to portray myself to know it so that people can come to me, they can challenge me, and I can go and research and come back to them with solutions. And that was what I did. To cut the whole long story short, you know, I secured my very first role after 2 weeks as a senior software automation engineer. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the journey was easy because I had to sacrifice a lot of things, especially my sleep. Those that saw me during that process, they would think I was on drug because my eyeballs would be swollen, red, and all of that. But I knew what I wanted for myself. I knew there would surely very soon there will be an end to all these sacrifices I was making, you know. But it wasn't easy. But I was able to achieve it at the end of the day. So this all Learn with Pride that we have today, started from that transitioning journey. So that is why I do tell my students, you know what, if I can do it, anyone with a great mind that is determined enough can also transition as well with, the right support, especially if you have someone, an organization to hold you by the hand, to walk the walk with you, it will make your journey so easy and smooth as well. So that is it about myself as well. I also can't hear. If you can't hear me, I did a sound check before I started. So if you are on the call and you cannot hear, admin, can you please send a message on the chat and let them know they should enable their sound or log out and log back in. All right, thanks, Sadiq. All right, so that is it about me and that is it about the company. But why database administrator? We are all here because we've got one interest or the other uh, as regards database administrator. Maybe you are considering it or you want to know more about what it entails, or why are people, or the question is, why are people transitioning? Why is it so rampant now? Why is it a buzzword now? Everyone wants to transition to tech, you know. Gone are those days when you see people where they want to work is oil and gas because they believe it's only oil and gas that they are paying. That is where the money is. So everybody wants to work in oil and gas. But things are changing. It's no longer oil and gas now. The buzz now is in IT. So can someone, let's make this interactive. I need people to send me a message now and we read from the message. Why do you think people are transitioning to tech jobs? Or why do you want to transition to tech jobs? What are the reasons? Why tech? Why not transition to become a nurse? Why not transition to become a doctor? Why tech? So in 5 minutes, if we can drop our answers on the chat and I'll read it out. There's no right or wrong answer, right? So yes, if we can drop our answers. If you can drop our answers on the chat, I'll read them out. As I said, there's no right or wrong answer. Why are you on this call tonight? Why are you considering transitioning to become a database administrator? There must be a reason. What is your own reason? I want to hear from you. So I'm reading the chat. I'll read it out as well. I'm just waiting for more people to drop their own answer. As I said, there's no right or wrong answer. So just drop something. Why are you on this call tonight? Why are you considering transitioning? All right, let's go through some of the answers. 1 second. All right, let's go through some of the answers and let's see what people think. All right. Wow. Yeah, the session is being recorded. That's fine. All right. All right, Ademola, jackpot out of trenches. Techno, because the world is turning out to be technically place. A technical place, I guess. All right. Sadiq, because every business operations now are digitalized. All right. Samsung, technology is the way forward in all fields. Maruf, remote work ethics. The pay is cool, but I am a bit skeptical. AI is coming for everyone. AI cannot take your job. Don't let the fear of the unknown, you know, um, delay your progress. If AI takes everybody's job, please, how is the economy going to function? Has anyone ever sat down to think about that? If all of us are unemployed because of AI, one AI is coming to take over, how is the economy going to function? So it is just a buzzword. AI can enhance your work. AI cannot take away your job, right? That means we want to put the economy in a big, big mess. If all of us are not working because one AI can do our job, that means everybody, things will be more terrible than it is right now. All right. Where am I? Where am I? All right. That's from Maruf. Samuel, trend with open job, compay. I don't get that. The word is becoming, Chichi, the word is becoming a word of data. And also the pay. Pay now is a buzzword. I believe I am good at database management. All right. To Mellow, because of the 4IR. Most of the world is transitioning to tech. EE, people are transferring mostly because some prefer to work from home remotely. You are not right. You are not wrong, rather. Adebola, technology is gradually taking over the workplace. I concur. Sadiq, my own personal reason is just use the tech to aid my logistic and transport profession. Fantastic. So it is not a must for when we acquire knowledge, right? It is not all the time that we want to go out and do 9 to 5 with that new skill that we just learned. It might be to impact your own business in a positive way as well. That is why no knowledge is lost. Whether you are using it to work 9 to 5 or you are using it to, better the process at your workplace, as long as you are putting it to use, that's the most important. Just man, learning new ideas add up to my skill favor. It is the highest paid job now, especially for those doing remote job. To improve my earning capacity, Ajibade. Wow. All right. That's the thought from everyone. I love anything data. All right. The world is full of IT. All right. You can see we have different answers. And what you'll notice more or often in most of the answer is the pay, remote job. What again? The world, everything is moving towards tech, towards IT. And that's the reason why people, you know, are transitioning, especially gives you the ability to be able to work remotely and all of that, which everyone is right. As I said, there's no right or wrong answer. So perfect. The session is being recorded already, so it will be shared on the WhatsApp group and also on our YouTube channel. Right. So yes, we are all right. But one of the key reasons why people are transitioning now is because number one, family work balance. That is very, very important. No matter the profession that you are doing, and you don't have the time for your family, especially your kids, if you have kids, meaning before they wake up in the morning, you are gone. Before you come back in the evening, they're already asleep. You don't get to see your loved ones, especially your kids, till weekend. That is not good enough. You are working because of these people, you know. If you can get another role that will give you the same kind of pay, and make life so easy and flexible for you, I'm sure you go for that role. And that is where tech comes in. People working in tech, they refer to them as being working smart, as working smart. Working smart in such a way that, you can afford to do your school runs. You can afford to take your kids to school. It's not like you are not working. You are working, but you are working on the go. Maybe your schedule for that money, throughout that money is just meetings. You can attend your meetings from your mobile. You can afford to take your car to the mechanic for repair. Not that you are not working. You are working, but you are working smart and you are working on the go. because most of these roles, right? By the time you know your onions, you can do 2 jobs, 3 jobs effectively. You know, as a nurse or as a doctor, it might be impossible for you to do 2 jobs. Even if you want to do 2 jobs, that means you go to one in the morning from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you want to go and resume another one at 9 p.m. till the following morning. You want to kill yourself. But in tech, you are working 9 to 5, but you are doing 2 jobs. And those 2 jobs, they don't, none of them, you close at 5 o'clock because you know what you are doing. You know your onions. You are not doing extra hours because you want to make up. You know, that's why people are looking for where they can get that flexibility because of family work balance, because of their loved ones. Also because of the pay. The pay in tech, if you start with a certain amount, they start you with a certain amount, let's say 50,000 pounds. There is a yearly review to your salary. So you are not on the same, it's not what you started with. Next year, you're not going to be on the same pay. If it's 2,000, if it's 3,000, it will go on top of that pay. That is aside the bonus that will be shared if your company is making profit. Also, the very key one is ability for you to work remotely. It is only in tech a database administrator in Nigeria performs exactly the same thing with a database administrator in Canada, in Malta, in Australia, elsewhere in the world. It is only tech roles that can give you that. Meaning, if you upskill yourself and know your onions, you can compete for international roles, remote jobs. Meaning, at the comfort of your home in Oshodi or Abulegba or Lekki or Phase 1 or anywhere you are, Abuja, Lagos, you can work remotely with any organization in any part of the world. All that is required is for you to unlearn and relearn new skills. And that is what we are doing. The way we are equipping you is to set you aside, is to set you for success so that you can be able to compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2-3 years. Right. So among other benefits, these are the key ones, that people are considering that, I can get flexibility. Worst case scenario, maybe hybrid work. It's very hard for you to see a tech role that you need to go to work 5 days a week now. It is hardly impossible, right? And the good thing again is because companies abroad are looking to save cost, meaning they are now extending their offers to outside worlds like Asia, like Africa. Take, for example, a company in the US that doesn't want to pay $500 a day for a database administrator. So, meaning if they look for someone in the US, it's going to cost them like $500, $600 per day for that person. But they know they can get someone as equally as good as the person in the US, in Asia, in Africa. And they won't be spending up to $600. They reach out to someone in Nigeria and they are willing to pay $150 a day for someone in Nigeria. $150 a day is over 200,000 naira per day. They are saving $350 from their side. But at the same time, despite the fact that they are cutting you short with $350, you are still making a very good money on a daily basis as well, because you are getting over 200,000 naira per day. Let's even say it's 200,000 naira per day. 200,000 naira times 200,000 naira times 20 days. That is a lot of money you are getting on a monthly basis. So it is a win-win for both parties. The companies are saving, and you at the other end, you are making your money as well. Same thing when they go to Asia. So this is a very, right time, good opportunity to explore the market, because by the time you learn what you're supposed to know, you know what you're supposed to know, you learn, you are not only concentrating on your local country, you are concentrating in any country, you know, around the globe. You can apply to any country looking, for the kind of skills that you've got, be it Malta, Ireland, anywhere, Canada, UK, without leaving the comfort of your home. All that is required for you is a good internet, a good laptop. You might even want to start work at 9 a.m. You are just waking up at 8:45. There's no need for you to wake up to leave your house from 4 a.m. just because you want to beat traffic. When you live such a life, even, it will prolong someone's life because you have peace of mind. So those are some of the reasons why people are transitioning, and why this is a good time for you to consider the move as well. All right, let me go through my slide quickly without wasting too much of your time. So I'm going to be I'm going to be using UK as a point of reference because that is where we are. But it doesn't matter the location. It is still a well-paid role in anywhere around the world. All right, so if you are considering a permanent role in the UK, you'll be looking average of 50, 55, 60,000 per annum. If you are considering a contract role is if you don't want to be permanent with any organization, you just want to work with them with 3 months, 6 months, and you leave, then you'll be looking at maybe 400 pounds a day, 500 pounds a day, 600 pounds a day. So even if you are getting 400 pounds a day, that is 8,000 pounds a month. That is still a lot of money. Even majority in the UK, I can say 60% in the UK are not even getting that. The average, the majority within the bracket that they are getting, 60% are getting in the UK is within 18,000 pounds per annum and 35,000 pounds per annum. That's what majority are getting. And you just completed a 4-month course. You can boast of 50,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds per annum. That is good. And that is where we want you to be as well. Right. All right. Another reason is you can work remotely from any part of the world. What is required is for you to have the necessary skills and knowledge, right? And also, it is in high demand. If it's not in high demand, then we won't see people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs. It's because there are no people like you to take up the roles. The roles are out there, but there are not enough people to take it. Remember, you are not only focusing on your local country, but you are focusing on the entire world, So meaning, by the time you learn the new skill, sky is just the beginning, for you, so to say. All right. So if you are to join this training, what will be the roadmap if you are to join the training? All right, let's go through that quickly. So the training is a 4-month practical training. You'll be taught in the in-demand skills of data administrator, in an easy to understand way. Also, the tutor is a top professional in the industry as well. So that means if you are truly ready for the journey, because I do tell people, as a company, we can only go 100 yards, 50 yards. What do I mean? The moment you embark on a journey with us, you are signing up for like a 50-50 partnership deal with us. That is what you are signing with us. So we as a training organization, we go 50 yards for you. We provide the platform, we equip you with the right skills, right knowledge, mentor you, support you, provide everything that is required for you to succeed on the journey for you. On the other end, you as a student needs to go above and beyond what has been covered in class. You need to be ready to get your hands dirty. You cannot restrict your learning to 2 days a week. The live classes are 2 days a week. You cannot restrict your learning to 2 days a week. It will not work. It's as simple as that. Meaning, you need to devote certain hours into the process every single day for the duration of the program. That is the only way you can be able to compete with people who has been doing it for the last 2-3 years after the program. It's not a magic, it's not a film trick. Your input at the end of the day is going to equals to your output. It's as simple as that. So for those who are really ready for the journey, we provide you with everything for you to succeed on the journey. We walk the walk with you, but we need to meet halfway. If we as a company, organization are able to achieve our own 50% that we promised you, and you on the other end, you are able to achieve your own 50% as well, meaning we've attained 100%. So that means, the sky is just the beginning, because you are fit for, you are good to go. You are good to start applying for jobs. And in no time, you'll be working as a database administrator, but you need to commit your time, your effort, your sweat into the process. Also, as you are doing the training, you are also being exposed to project at the same time as well. So as you are finishing a module, you are being given a project to undertake. And we have a structure that the CPD, okay, I'm going to mention it. So the certificate that you'll be getting at the end of the day is coming from an accreditation body called CPD Standards. For you to get that certificate, at least minimum of 3 projects has to be completed within that 4 months before you can get your certificate at the end of the program. This is just to ensure that we maintain the standard that our students are graduating from. We need to set a yardstick for them to meet. This will push you, to go above and beyond what you've covered in class, for you to read more, for you to ask more questions, because that is where you learn more. If you ask questions, you get to know more. Right. So that is a project. Minimum of 3 projects has to be completed within your 4 months with us as well. All right. So now you are done with the training, you are done with the project. This is another important point that you need to note while you are transitioning: optimization of your brand. So you are done with the practical training. You can actually call yourself, I believe I know 50-60% of the roles and responsibilities of a database administrator. But you are not getting calls. Recruiters are not reaching out to you. You're wondering why. But now I know what I'm doing, but why am I not getting calls? You are not getting calls because you are not visible in the market. When you are not visible, nobody will see you now. Because you are not visible. So that means you need to work on your brand. And what is your brand? Your brand is that thing that will speak on your behalf. Before they see you, they can actually decide that, yes, this will be a good fit. And what is that? That means your CV has to be revamped, especially for those who be applying for international roles. You need to revamp your CV to international standards. Also, LinkedIn has become one of the most popular platform that recruiters, employers, agency now go to, to look for qualified candidates. You need to be in that space as well. These are the things that will make you to be visible. If this stage is done right, you'll be shocked what will happen afterwards. Your phones will be bombarded with calls. Oh, we saw your message. We saw your profile on LinkedIn. Are you available for a quick call? Are you still in the market? We saw your CV on so. Are you still in the market? Are you still looking for a role? And when that is happening, right, you can be rest assured that interview is around the corner when you start getting calls like that. And this is another important stage that we assist with as well, interview preparation. We believe your success at the end of the day is also our success. So it is in our best interest to, support you in every way necessary so that you can go in for that interview and ace it and secure that role. Because if you are able to secure a role, someone somewhere will ask you, Adebola, how did you do it? Because I could remember as at 4 months ago, you were working in that bank as a customer service officer. How did you transition from working as a customer service officer to becoming a database administrator? How did you do it working remotely? How are you able to get 2 jobs? All these questions will come. And that is when Learn with Pride will pop up. Oh, I did that. I did my training with Learn with Pride. You can test them out as well. That is what we want at the end of the day. That is our aim. That is our objective, to get you to that point where you can refer us to families and friends. Why on this interview preparation benefit? Let me use this opportunity to talk about other benefits that is attached to enrolling in this particular program. So you get the practical training, you get to work on a project. And as I said earlier on, minimum of 3 projects needs to be submitted within your 4-month program. You get mentorship, you get interview preparation, you get support. Also, all our courses are CPD accredited, meaning they meet the professional standard. And the certificate that you get at the end of the program is recognized in over 60 countries. In Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, UK, Australia, Canada, US, in over 60 countries. So you can even go online and type CPD standards and read more about them. Even on their website, you can check us out as well. You see our registration number and all of that when you get to the CPD standards website. And finally, we give you a work reference for the duration that you are with us, because you'll be working on our project. So we'll be deemed to give you a work reference when you start looking for a job. It doesn't matter where you are. Remember, you can work remotely for any country. So even if you live in Nigeria, we can still give you a work reference in the UK. Remember, at the end of the day, the aim is for you to apply for a job remotely anyway, right? So that will boost you and give you a step ahead of your other counterpart as well. Right. So those are the benefits, among others, that you're going to get at Learn with Pride. Also, what we are trying to do is build a community that you can leverage on. So it is not all about training, meaning at the end of your 4 months program, it is not the end. That is not the end of our transaction. That is not the end with Learn with Pride. That doesn't mean after 4 months we say we don't know you again. No, because you still belong to our community, because we are trying to build a community that you can leverage on, that anyone can leverage on. Any student that graduated from Learn with Pride can leverage on. What do I mean? You start, you secure the role at the end of the day as a database administrator. You are stuck at work. They gave you a task to do, you don't know how to go about it. You contacted your facilitator and he was busy. Where do you go next? That is why you need like-minded people. That is why you need this kind of a community that you can put out any questions and you can be rest assured that someone on that group will respond back to you who has done the same thing previously as well. Also, we have another community called Career Motivation Group. We hold a session twice every month. This is aside your training days. And we go through different stuff on that session. How to secure a job, how to how to optimize your LinkedIn page, you know, bring ex-students to come and share their testimony, go through people who has been attending interviews to come and share their interview experience, different things, because a tiny information on that session can have a massive impact on your application, on your interview. Information is key. Information is power. When you don't know, you don't know. You'll be shocked that, oh, this is the missing puzzle. And you apply that missing puzzle and you see a great changes going forward. Why? From the power of information. So we do everything within our power to ensure that we continue to feed our students with information, updates, jobs, all of that, so that at least people are getting jobs, you are getting calls for interviews, and we are there all the way as well. That is why we say, for those who are ready for the journey, we are ready to walk the walk with you, because it goes beyond just the 4 months with us. The end goal is for you to be able to secure a role, but you must have done your 50% as well. Right. Excuse me. All right, let me move on fast now. All right. So this is just the start of our company from 2020 till date. Over 20,000 students has enrolled. This is just a breakdown of enrollment per course. And this is in total, 85% of our students are currently working, 50% in public sector, 35 in private, and 15% are job ready. And these people, you see them on that community as well. All right. So the next one, I got these jobs online. The first one is paying, is a fixed term contract, paying up to 67,000 pounds per annum. That is a lot of money, right? And the roles and responsibility are the things you'll be able to do at the end of your journey as well. The next one is a remote job, paying between 62,000 and 72,000 per annum. I'm sure someone will be on this call that will doubt those figures. That can someone who just completed a 4-month program can actually apply for those roles and secure one? The answer is yes. And I'm not going to blame you for questioning it, because I did question it as well. Remember, I transitioned as well. I never knew anybody can be earning even 300 pounds a day. I never knew, you know? And I've done all sorts of odd jobs that you can ever think about. That is why when it comes to transitioning, it doesn't matter what you studied in school, whether you studied that Greek or you studied geography or you study computer science, it doesn't matter. Or you even study language. What matters on the journey is your determination, your hunger for change. It doesn't matter what you've been working as for the last 10 years or 15 years. For people who knows me, I've done all sorts of jobs that you can ever think of. From being a driver to warehouse jobs to cleaner to security. I've done all sorts of odd jobs. But what changes is my mindset changed. I think differently now, you know. As I said previously, if you ask me the days I was doing security and say, some people are out there earning Even 200 pounds a day, I'll tell you, go and sit down. Or 250 pounds a day. Not to talk about. People are out there earning 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 pounds a day. That could be you as well. So yes, it is normal. It is okay to question it. But I can tell you that people earning that much, people earning that amount, by the time you are done, by the time you do what you're supposed to do on the journey, you can as well compete for such roles as well. Back then when I transitioned as a senior software automation engineer, that was my first role, first title when I transitioned. Even back then, I think my starting salary was around 55,000 before benefits. Plus benefits, maybe around 70 something thousand. And I've never done it before. I only did a 3-month course. It is okay to question, but at the flip side as well, it's something that you can start earning as well. But until you pass through the tunnel, you can't see the brake light. You can't see what awaits you at the end of the journey, at the end of the tunnel. You passing through the tunnel is you equipping yourself with the right skills, with the right knowledge. Until you are done with that process, you don't know what sort of job awaits you at the end of the tunnel. Whether you start making $200 a day, whether you start making $300 a day, whether you'll be doing 2 jobs that will be fetching you $500 a day in total. You never know. That is why it is always good to take the bold step, to make that investment that you can never regret. You are investing into your future. As someone said on the chat earlier on when I asked that question, that he wants to learn so that he can be able to better his own business. That is the reason why he wants to learn tech. There is no knowledge as far as it is tech that is wasteful, that is going to, as in it will go to waste. No. All right. So before I hand over to Michael, who is going to be the facilitator that will take you on the journey for the next 4 months, if you are to be starting with us. The price for the journey is £799 for 4 months. But we are giving a discount out. So in pounds is £799. In naira is 900,000 naira. So the next cohort is starting on the 1st of June. That will be on a Saturday. So the training runs twice a week, Fridays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And all the sessions are recorded. You'll be onboarded on our LMS as well and all of that. So for anyone that, that wants to enroll on or before the 1st of June, you can get 40% discount. But the thing is, for the cohort that will be starting on the 1st of June, we have 7 slots available for that particular cohort that will be starting on the 1st of June. So for those that wants to take their chances and wait till 28, 29, 30 before enrolling, you can still get 40% discount. Meaning, in pounds, that means that will reduce the cost to 480 pounds. And in naira, it will reduce it to 540,000 naira. And you can pay twice as well. That's the good thing. You can pay twice. But that's the first offer we have. But the second offer is a 48 hours offer. That means the second offer expires at the end of Thursday. And the second offer is a 60% discount. So for anyone that wants to enroll between now and 48 hours time, that is between now and Thursday night, you can get 60% discount. So meaning if you are paying in pounds, you'll be paying 320 pounds. The good thing again is it's supposed to be a one-time payment, but you can actually pay twice. Half payment to start and the other half paid within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. And in naira, that will be 360,000 naira, and you can pay twice as well. But the 60% offer is only available for 48 hours. So it expires Thursday night, this time Thursday night. So If you are interested, if you are, excuse me, if you are interested, you want to enroll, you want to secure your spot, the best number to contact is the number on your screen right now. To secure your spot, to ask for information, details, the number on your screen, the WhatsApp number on your screen is the best number for you to message. So you can take a screenshot, you can save it on your phone. That will be your go-to number. Also, we give referral bonus as well. If you refer anybody to us and they enroll on the course, we'll give you 10%. But if you are enrolling yourself as well, the 10% will deduct it from the balance that you'll be paying us as well. So it's a win-win for everyone at the end of the day as well. So as I said, you can save the number on your phone, take a screenshot. That will be the number you'll be needing going forward if you want to enroll on the journey. Either you want to take the 60% offer or you want to take the 40% offer by taking your chance and enrolling maybe on the 28th, on the 29th, provided we still have a slot at that time. So for now, I'm going to be pausing and I'm going to be inviting Michael to take over and shed more light into the journey of a database administrator. Why this is the right time to make that transitioning journey. From me to you, I'm going to be pausing for now. See you soon. Thanks, everyone. Michael, over to you.
All right, guys, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
All right, okay.
There's
Just
a background noise.
please give me a feedback if you
There is a
can.
tiny
Okay,
noise coming from the mic.
let me forward it. All right, is it perfect now?
No, it's actually terrible now.
Wow. All right.
It's
Okay.
it's better now. You can talk
Um,
now. Try
all
to
right.
say.
Good evening. Okay. Good evening, guys.
Yeah, good evening.
If you can hear me, just give me the letter Y. Y for yes in the chat. Let me see. Y for yes. Let me see. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Magaji, thank you. Life. All right. Matthias Kadi, thank you. All right. Good evening, guys. My name is Michael Adenira Adedotun Adeyinka. I am a database engineer, database administrator. I work in anything that concerns data. And I also develop data pipelines as a data engineer. So anything that involves data, I'm always there. But big time, I'm a database administrator full time, and I work as a database engineer too, and I work as a database modeler also. So I'm going guys on this journey. I actually started as I'm actually a registered engineer. I began as an engineer before I decided to pivot into in tech. I decided to choose data per se because I fell in love with data, especially analytics and some other things. So it has been a wonderful journey. It's been close to 5 years, and I think it has been the effort. So tonight, I just want to take you through a brief journey. Database administration means I design databases, I query databases, I write good queries using MySQL. Okay. So Sorry, I had a network glitch. There was a glitch. Sorry. So what is database administration? All right. So database administration is a specialized field actually of computer science. It's a very, very powerful field. And it is good. It's also a field for engineering. Okay. Yes, database engineering and database administration. They are quite alike. So database engineers work with various database management systems or what we call DBMs, something like MySQL Workbench, PostgreSQL, MSSQL, and the rest. So we work with Oracle and SQL Server. So, and a database administrator is responsible for design of a database, is responsible for data modeling, is responsible for schema development, is responsible for query optimization, is responsible for indexing. Indexing simply means you want the database to perform a lot more faster, and you perform a lot of database security activity, and you perform performance tuning, data migration, backup and recovery, and improve the scalability of your database. So that is the basic work of a database administrator. So you are the guy in charge of the database. You are the guy at the back end. People may not hear from you, but you are the most one of you control every single activity that has to do with data. You secure the database because data is collected. Data simply means information. All right. So information is collected, and you are the guy that makes sure you protect that particular information. So database administration is a very, very powerful field, and it is much more needed. So what roles can a database administrator for a database administrator apply for? All right, sorry. What roles can a database administrator apply for? All right, a database administrator can apply for the role of a database engineer. You can apply for the role of a database administrator in its purest form. You can apply for the role of a database architect. You can apply for the role of a database developer. You can apply for the role of a database analyst, because that is what this course is geared towards, to prepare you for these different roles, so that you will not be limited to just a single role. You can apply for many other roles, because those skills are quite transferable. All right, and you can easily pivot into any other data field you want to pivot into. So it's not a field that makes you to just apply for just a single job. All right. um, Eric Schmidt said something. He said there were 5 exabytes of information created between the dawn of civilization through 2003. But that much information is now created every 2 days. Imagine the amount of information, the volume of information that is being created every single day. Those information is what we call data. So now we have IoT devices, Internet of Things. Your television is giving you data, your shoe, your watch, your wristwatch, almost everything around you now transmits data. Even um, even the football that was used during the World Cup, it has its own data. It was collecting data. All right. Who is writing on the screen, please? You can stop that. So Eric Smith already made that known. So another thing is that Peter Sondergaard says something. There was a senior vice president and global head of research at Gartner. He said information is the oil of the 21st century, and analytics is the combustion engine. The fact is that analytics is not possible without a good database admin. There must be a good database admin before you can have analytics. is more or less like you are the guy in charge of storage. You are the guy in charge of making sure the data is of good quality. You are the guy that makes sure backup take place. You back up the database, you monitor the database. All right. So that is the basic work of a database administrator. You are the guy that is in charge of it, so much so that if the server is down, the firm you are working for may not make any money per se. So you are the guy that monitors it. You know when it is down, when it is up. You know how to make backups, and you know how to recover so that you don't lose valuable data. So data, become a database administrator in 4 months. All right, in 4 months. All right, you can become a database administrator in 4 months, and these are the parts we are going to be covering. I'm going to be, this training is going to introduce you into the world of the screen. You can see this database. This is how we design database, okay? This is what we call a logical model, all right? So we have physical model, logical model, and conceptual models of your database. So we are going to learn all this. You are going to learn database design. You are going to learn database modeling. You are going to learn schema development, query optimization, and how to write very good quality queries. You are going to learn indexing, automation in your database, performance tuning, backup, and recovery. All right. So basically, what does this training and what will it cover? It will cover my SQL workbench. We are going to start from the basics of my SQL workbench to advance my SQL and database design and modeling. I'm going to teach you how to use PHP my admin as a database administrator. I'm going to teach you how to, okay, everything we have been talking about now, we have SQL and we have no SQL. No SQL simply means not only SQL. All right. There are different applications or softwares that they use for no SQL. All right. So I'm going to teach you that because it will give you an upper edge, to give you an edge over most of those we have in the job market. Because if people can check your CV and they see that you do not know only SQL, you also know how to use NoSQL, all right, especially MongoDB. MongoDB is practically the most popular among NoSQL distributors, okay? So SQL, NoSQL simply means not only SQL, all right? SQL is used to query and store data that is structured or data that is structured. But NoSQL is used to save data that is semi-structured, structured, and unstructured. Unstructured may be referring to things like your videos, music, most of those things. We do not know how to actually save some of these files. So we have, okay, under SQL, and when we'll be using SQL Workbench, we'll be talking about, we'll try to, all right, I think another thing we are going to cover how to use Python. I'm going to teach you how to use Python. So you will learn how to use Python as a DBA, all right? Python is quite important for in the life of a DBA. Python is a scripting language. You are going to use it for running your backup, all right? Running your backup and querying your database. That's what you use Python for, all right? So when you learn how to use Python for all these things, you are going to enjoy it greatly. Then we have so under SQL, these are the things you are going to cover. You are going to understand the basics of SQL, how to perform CRUD operation. CRUD simply means create, read, and update and delete operations. You are going to learn how to do that. Then we are going to focus on MySQL dialect of SQL, all right? So you are going to understand the importance of database and the role of SQL, structured querying language. SQL means structured querying language. So you are going to learn how to write queries and learn how to write advanced queries, okay? So we are going to learn how to create functions, triggers, stored procedures, and indexing, all right? Functions, triggers, and stored procedures are a way of automating activities in your database. Instead of doing it over and over again, you can decide to automate. So you will learn how to use SQL for database management, and you learn how to use it to monitor performance, all right? Another thing you learn how to use MySQL for is how to design your databases, all right, using forward and reverse engineering. There's something called forward and reverse engineering. You are going to cover that in depth. So you are going to understand database administration and how to optimize a database. Another thing we are going to learn is how to analyze data using SQL. So another thing we are going to focus on, aside from SQL, we are going to focus on MongoDB, which covers NoSQL. All right. So we are going to understand NoSQL and the difference between relational databases and non-relational databases. All right. You are going to learn about different NoSQL databases. All right, like MongoDB, Cassandra, Redis, and the rest. So you are going to understand the basics of MongoDB and how to query data in MongoDB. Another thing we are going to learn is we are going to understand collections, what we mean by collection, clusters, and how to aggregate data in MongoDB. You are going to learn how to perform data backup and recovery in MongoDB. You are going to also understand indexing and how to monitor performance of queries in MongoDB. All right. So another thing is, do I need a computer science background to actually excel in this particular field? No, you do not need a computer science background. All you need is a will and a heart that is willing to learn. All right. Once you come and you say you want to learn with pride, we take you on a journey. That's why it is called a journey. We take you from point A to B to C to D to E. All right. You keep going like that until you get to the pro level. And we are always open for questions. And if it means teaching you individually, we are going to do that. All right. The goal is that you will learn it, and after 4 months, you become well equipped to actually take on any job. But we are going to be covering this in 4 months, all right? And we are going to be doing it just twice in a week. So since it is going to be only Friday and Saturday, the thing is you have 5 days to actually prepare. After watching the classes after attending the class Friday, Saturday, you have 5 days to go through the classes, practice different exercises, and understand whatever the tutor is saying or whatever I'm saying. So, like Akin said, Learn with Pride will only give you 50%, and you are going to bring in the other 50% to make yourself 100% ready for the work. What do we mean by Learn with Pride will give you 50%? The truth is, as your tutor, I have the requisite experience and the knowledge that you require. I will do everything possible within my capacity to give you 100% in this journey. But whatever 100% I give you will only be 50% of the whole journey. So when you bring your own 100% to, it will be 50%. So when you add my own 50 to your 50, it's going to result to a proper, powerful 100 that you can take to the marketplace, and you would always be in demand. You will be needed, you will be sought after. All right. So where can we get jobs as DBAs? We can get jobs on LinkedIn. All right. I've gotten a lot of jobs on LinkedIn. People have reached out to me a lot of times. I've gotten 3 interviews this year. All right. 3. And some of them I had to turn them down because they weren't aligning with my long-term plans. So LinkedIn, Twitter, You can make use of indeed.com. You can make use of dentry.io. You can make use of Upwork and work as a freelancer. You can make use of Fiverr and work as a freelancer. You can decide to freelancer. You can decide to be a what they call a database modeler, and you can decide to work on your own. All right. So when you go to Upwork and you go to Fiverr, you are going to see people who just come to work. They are looking for remote jobs, and the moment you get one, you get two, you'll be referred to a lot more opportunities. So thank you. But before I say thank you, let me show you the tools we are going to be using. So the first one I showed you was database. I told you we are going to be running MySQL. So this is what MySQL workbench looks like on a normal day. This is what MySQL workbench looks like. But as an administrator, you will not just be writing code, you will be checking your server. All right. So like I told you, you are the guy that's controlling the server. You are controlling the users and their privileges. You are the guy that is behind. You are the not behind per se. You are the back end. All right. You are the guy that is at the back end. So this is what you do. You check if it's running. You check the CPU load. You check the connection. All right. So the moment I stay a while on this page, it will begin to read data. Can you see that the CPU load has come on? You can see the number of connections I have. I have four connections. Can you see the traffic? So these are the things that takes place. These are the things. Those are the things you do in the morning. The moment you get to the office, the first thing I check is my my server, whether it is up running. Can you see running? It is running. All right. So my server is running. So you can check the efficiency of the database. You can check you can check many other things. Okay. So these are the things you do as a DBA. And you can also use your dashboard. All right. There's somewhere called your dashboard. All right. So this is the dashboard. This is where you can check the traffic. You can check the efficiency, the engine behind MySQL, or the engine you are using is InnoDB. There are many other engines. So you can check your database, you can check the wellness of your database from this point, or you can check how LD your database is looking from this point. Okay. Whatever information you get here will determine what you do next. So you can import data and back it up. That's why we have this page over here. Then you have your performance reports. You can check the performance of your database and give an appropriate report about it. This is where you can add users. You can add users and delete users. Okay. You have that power as a DBA. You can decide to add someone and remove it. Okay. You can decide to delete anyone. All right. You can decide to delete anyone. You can decide to add them. You can decide to do anything. So you're the guy that adds, you're the guy that gives people permission. All right. So those are the things you do as a DBA. You don't just have users, you also give them privileges. So you are the guy that runs the backup, and you are the guy that restores most of the things. So you can shut the database down from this point. Okay. You can decide to say, I'm stopping the server. You can stop it. You can do whatever you want from the administration perspective. Okay. This is a lot of work. So we are going to focus on administration for a full month, and you are going to learn it properly. So these are my databases. All right. This is what my databases look like. All right. So typically we can come to this point and just write a short code. All right. We can decide to write a short code here and just say, okay, let's use a particular database. We can say use, and this tool is quite important because this is a database that's called Sakira. So if I want to check the tables in it, I can say show tables. All right. And it will reveal all the tables in the database to me. All right. Tables are the places you save your data. So I can decide, you store your data rather. I can decide to select everything and view a particular table. I can say city. All right. So I can view everything in the city table. All right. So this is how it looks like. can see city, Accra, country, last updated, and you can decide to write your queries like this. All right. So aside from using MySQL Workbench for administration and query, we are going to be learning how to use MongoDB. MongoDB will be covering NoSQL. NoSQL. I told you that NoSQL simply means not only SQL. So there are things that you cannot put into proper structure, into rows and columns. So you are going to save them in NoSQL. So when we come to NoSQL, or MongoDB. There are database administrators that typically use just MongoDB alone. We would have done the training without this, but I want you to have this so that you have an upper edge. You have an upper hand in the marketplace, and people will seek you more because you are a lot more skilled in the marketplace. So it will give you an upper edge. So this is what it looks like. This is what our MongoDB looks like. You can also perform a full DBA activity in your MongoDB. You can be a NoSQL database administrator. All right. So and the thing is, in this program, we'll provide practical sessions, provide you with project that you are going to work on, and we are going to provide you with books and any knowledge you need, materials, so that you will understand. And if you need one-on-one session, we'll make sure that we'll leave out a free time to attend to you. Everyone is important, and we'll take the journey line by line, precept upon precept. That's how we are going to take the journey. And another thing I want to show you is we are going to be using Python. All right. So these are Jupyter notebooks look like, but Anaconda is where we'll be. Anaconda distribution of Python is the one we'll be using. So this is how it looks like. All right. This is how your Anaconda looks like. Then let me see. These are your this is how you write your queries in Python. All right. So we are going to connect with a database from Python. All right. So you learn how to connect with it, how to write queries, how to perform backup from this point, how to do a lot of beautiful things in your database. So you don't always need to log into MySQL. You can work from Python. And the beautiful thing about Python is that it's a very, very transferable skill. You can take it from this point and use it for something much more powerful. All right. You can build data pipelines with it. You can use it for analytics. You can use it for creating scripts and a lot of things. So the language, and we are going to use it. Okay. We are going to learn it for the sake of database administration. It's not as if you are building a program. No, we are going to just learn it so that we can use it for our work as DBAs. All right. So another thing we are going to be looking at, I'm going to be teaching you how to use Visual Studio Code. All right, maybe to connect with MySQL. Okay, can use it to connect to MySQL. All right. So we are going to be. I'll teach you how to do all that in this journey. Okay, and a lot more. The program is well loaded, and it contains a lot of practical sessions and things we can do. All right. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll be here to attend to some of your questions. All right. So Akin, you can.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michael. So if you have any
You're welcome.
questions, please, this is the time for you to start raising your hands. I'll be calling you to ask your questions, or you can as well drop your questions on the chat as well. But I prefer if you can raise your hand, talk to each other and let's learn from each other as well. Just a quick recap for those who joined late. The next cohort will be starting on the 1st of June. That'll be on a Saturday. But the training runs twice a week, which is on Fridays and Saturdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. All sessions are recorded just in case um you miss any class. 1 second. Let me share my screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. 1 second. All right, so all sessions are recorded so that in case anyone misses any class, you can still fall back to the recording. The recording will be made available on the LMS, so everyone will be onboarded on our LMS platform as well. And I made mention as well that for the cohort starting on the 1st of June, we only have 7 slots available for that cohort starting on the 1st. The price for the 4-month program is £799, but we have 2 different discount offers depending on when you are enrolling. For anyone that wants to take their time and enroll on or before the 1st, let's say you want to relax and just wait till 38th before you enroll, you can get 40% discount. You can get 40% discount. That will reduce the price to either £480 or 540,000 naira. You can pay twice as well. You can start with half payment, and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. The only but about waiting till 38 is we might not have a slot again at that time. That is why it is good. They say make A when the sun still shines, right? To enroll as soon as possible and get that out of the way. The other discount is will only last for 48 hours, and that is a 60% discount. So you can get 60% discount. Now that will expires Thursday night. So the discount, the 60% discount will expire is only for 48 hours and will expire Thursday night. So meaning you can get it after 60% discount for £320 or in naira 360,000 naira. Also, this is supposed to be a one-time payment, but again, we are giving you the opportunity just to assist you on the journey to pay twice as well. So you can actually start with half payment with that one as well. So that is it from us. Starlight, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Good
Yeah,
evening,
good,
facilitators. My name is Ayodeji from Nigeria.
good
So,
evening. Bro.
good evening. Yeah, I've attended a few of actually currently I'm taking some some trainings as related to data and all that. So the fear I have for DBA, I've been asked a few questions from people is there is this how do I put it now? There's this fear, right, from employers because of the fact that there's a high demand on this skill, no doubt, but the fact that they need people who are very skilled already, no, not willing to take, for example, the chances of taking interns are low in when it comes to DBA because of the risk that's associated with the job. They can't just leave you to do any funny cool and then the database is destroyed and then you cause a problem, server down and other problems. So this has been a barrier for entry level. Now I'm asking if there's any measures to curb that from whatever it is you offer from Learn with Pride. Maybe there can be a bit more insights on how to get it because over and over I've had confirmations. There's always this fear from organizations to take those who are at entry level because of the fear of giving you access to administration over data, and then you could mess things up and cause problems for the organization. That
All
has
right.
always been the stumbling block. Yeah, thank you.
Let me just lay more emphasis on that. Maybe you joined late, but the way we equip our students at Learn with Pride in any of our courses, not only DBA, in anyone, whether it's DevOps, whether it's software testing, in anyone, is for you to be able to compete with people who has been doing it for the last 2, 3 years in the market. Meaning, you are not finishing our 4-month program and start looking for an intern role. No, I did a 3 months program as well when I transitioned. When I started applying for job, I did not apply for intern role when I started applying. That is why we said you need to commit your time into the process every single day if you want to match with the people that have been doing it for the last 2, 3 years. Nothing will show on your CV that you are an intern. That is why you need to know your onions before you start applying for a job, which is doable in 4 months. Right? So Starlight, you are not applying for jobs. You are not applying to companies as intern, right? The only time you can apply as intern is if you haven't done what we've requested you to do. Maybe you restrict your learning to twice a week. Maybe you are not doing enough from your side. Then you won't know much. But if you do what we ask you to do, achieve your own 50%, then yes, you should not be applying for an intern role. That is not how we are building you or equipping you. So I hope I've been able to answer that question. If not, you can re-raise your hand and ask the question again. But yes, we are not setting you up to apply for intern roles. All right, you can go on, Starlight.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for the response. So this isn't really okay. I understand the context of intent that I brought in, but this isn't really about the intent thing. What I'm basically trying to emphasize is the fact that there is this fear factor in taking entry level positions,
You are not
basically,
applying for entry level as well. Forget about intern.
okay, basically non-experience. That was what I was
Okay,
trying to
let me
say.
let me use myself as an example for you again now, because you are looking at the training from the perspective of you are just doing a 4-month training. It is more than a 4-month training if you do what we ask you. For those who started the journey or this session with me, I told you a little bit about my story. For those that wants to listen to more of it, you can see it on YouTube on our channel. I did a 3-month course. I transitioned from my background was accounting. I transitioned to become a senior software automation engineer and only did the course for 3 months. But during that 3 months, if you see me, you think that what is wrong with this guy? Is this guy on drug or something? Eye swollen, red eyeballs and all of that. Because I knew what I wanted at the end of the journey. I did a 3-month program and I was able to secure my very first role as a senior software automation engineer. Meaning I wasn't looking for an intern role. Meaning I wasn't looking for an entry role. We are not building you up to look for an entry role. We are building you up to compete as experienced with people who has been doing it in the industry. That is why we are different. But it takes two to tango. We cannot do it alone. So for those who are ready to actually embark on that journey, that is how we are going to equip you for the journey. Right? So don't see you as, I understand that, oh, you've only done a 4-month course. For that reason, oh, you don't know enough. And for that reason, you should only be looking for an entry role where they can know. If you do what we ask you to do on the journey, you won't be applying for an entry role. You can stand on your 2 feet and compete. It is possible, it is doable, and it is achievable only if you believe in yourself and you believe in the process as well. I don't know whether you have any final words, Tyler. You can unmute yourself and say final if you have anything to say. I've asked you to unmute if you want to say anything. All right, I think you are good, Starlight. Techno, you can unmute and ask your question, Techno. Techno KJ5, you can unmute yourself. Oh, Techno has decided not to ask the question again. All right. If you have any other question, please, anyone, you can raise your hand and I will unmute you. I ask you to unmute yourself to ask your question. For those that want to take advantage of the opportunity, for those that want to take advantage of the discount, and for those that want to change the narratives, for those that want to take the big step, and embark on this journey, the number to the number to message if you want to enroll is the one on your screen right now. So send a WhatsApp message if you want to secure your seat, want to ask any question, payment details. The number on your screen is the best number to message. Also, if you refer anybody and enroll on our course, you get 10% discount as well. All right, Techno, we can talk.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Techno.
Calling from Ghana. I mean,
I can hardly hear you, Techno.
okay. Calling from Ghana.
From Ghana.
Yes, please.
All right, go on.
Okay. I want to ask the price for this 4 months program. Be good in Ghana.
All right, although I can't hear you properly, but I think you're asking about the price. So I can only
Yeah.
give you for the, if you want me to give you in CDs, I can only go with the Google rate. So if you want to take advantage of the 60% discount, that will be around 5,800. That is according to Google. But the thing is, when you are enrolling, we still send you the payment details, the payment link in pounds. At the point where you are using your debit card or credit card to make payments, your bank would use the right conversion rate to convert it for you. But if you are taking the 60% discount, that will be from Google, that will be around 5,800. That's according to Google.
Okay, please, will it be in installment or you pay in full for the 4 months?
No, you can start with half payment, and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started.
Okay, so what will be the minimum requirement for the payment? The minimum amount that you can pay to start with.
Minimum requirement.
Minimum amount that you can pay to start.
That will be half payment of the amount I just told you.
Which is 5,800.
Yes, that will be half of that.
So when exactly are we starting?
1st of June.
4th of June.
Yes, first of June.
Okay.
Yeah. For any other
So,
question, just message the number on your screen, the WhatsApp number on your screen.
okay.
All right. I can hardly hear you though, but I believe
Okay.
I was able to answer your question.
Exactly.
All right. Just message on the WhatsApp number if you have any other question as well.
Okay.
Or for payment, any question, just message that number.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Techno.
Thank you.
All right. Please, if anyone has got any other question, please, you can still raise your hand. Let me just go through the charts and see. Wow, I'm really revising because I've forgotten some of the things I learned at school. Because after school, I didn't get any work that demands me to use it. I know. Sir, did we have a group? There is a WhatsApp group. Some of the people on here are on the WhatsApp group, and I believe admin has sent the WhatsApp group link out as well. For anyone that wants to join, you can join. But for the recording, it will be available on our YouTube channel as well. So if you just go on YouTube and search for Learn with Pride, you should be able to see it. It's going to be available by tomorrow on our YouTube channel as well. All right. My major problem is my SQL. Blah, 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 blah. Do you have a iPhone? Do you have any payment plan? Yes. So you can start with half payment, and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. So that means you have up to 2 months before you make your second payment. Very insightful. Thank you so much. Please, when is the next cohort after the June cohort? The next cohort after June might be like mid-July or 3rd week of July. And can one also get the 40% discount? We don't know. until then, before we know what discount we are giving out. All right. Afiz Olusonya, I missed the price of the course. So the cost is £799 for 4 months, or 900,000 naira if it's in naira. If it's in CDs, that is around, I don't know that much in CDs. I only know the 60%. All right. So in naira is £799. In pounds is £799. In naira is 900,000 naira. But we have two categories of discount. The first one is a 40% discount. For anyone that wants to wait till the 31st, 29, 27 before they enroll, they can get 40% discount. Again, that will reduce it to 480 pounds, or 540,000 naira. You can start with half payment. The other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks. The only but with that one is you might not have any slot left as at that time, because we only have 7 for the course starting on the 1st. The other discount is a 60%. You can get 60%, but that one is only for 48 hours. It is 48 hours offer, which expires Thursday night. So for anyone that wants to take on that offer, you can get 60%. That will reduce the price to £320, or 360,000 naira. Again, this is supposed to be a one-time payment because of the 60% discount we are giving out. But again, because we want to help people, we want to make it easy as well. So you can pay twice as well. Start with half payment, and the other half paid within 6 to 8 weeks as well. That is the offer we have on ground. That is to Afiz Olusonya. For any other question, there is a number on your screen that you can message if you want to take advantage of any of the discount I just mentioned. You can message the number on your screen. Or for any question, you can message the number on your screen. So any final question from anyone, either by raising your hand or you want to drop it on the chat. Any final question from anyone? Any addition, subtraction, multiplication, anything, any final question from anyone? All right, nothing. All right. So, as I said earlier on, just to recap quickly, the next course will be starting 1st of June. We are ready to walk the walk with you. We are ready to hold you by the hand. The question is, are you ready for the journey? The question is, are you ready to change the narratives? The question is, are you ready to, step out of your comfort zone and take on a new challenge? If the answer is yes to all those questions, we are ready to partner with you. We are ready to go on the same journey with you. So, don't hesitate to message the number on your screen and take advantage of any of those discounts we've discussed tonight as well. It will be an investment you'll never regret in your life. It will be an investment you always look back and say, you know what? Thank God I made that move that time. Because you always look back and thank God that you made that move that day. Time waits for no one. Stop procrastination. Stop procrastinating. Take action today and enjoy the reward tomorrow. From me to you, I say a big thank you for taking your time to attend to this overview session. I believe you've been able to learn one or two things from this session as well. If that is the case, don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms as well. On Instagram at Learn with Pride, Facebook Learn with Pride, on all social media at Learn with Pride. Also for the recording, it will be available on our YouTube channel, again at Learn with Pride. So till we see you on the journey, I want to say a big thank you. Stay safe out there and have a good night. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.